I often enter a trance-like state when faced with things like responsibility, obligations, or even something as basic as paying attention. So the other day, my little brother approaches me and he asks, "Brother, are monsters real?" The child was referring to the fictional monster under his bed. That thought, however, had completely eluded my hypnoshroom zombie-like state. In a moment of real talk, I answered back, "Oh yes, why they're everywhere. On sidewalks, waiting next to you for coffee, you complain about the weather, and that's the most terrifying part of it. They don't have fangs or glowing eyes. They wave at you. They nod politely. They might even hold the door open for you. If that doesn't cause a chill to run down your back, I don't know what will." The child knew not what I spoke of, for he was 7 years old. But you understood. You understand that this world is inhabited by people so unbelievably despicable, so vile. People like my buddy Chad. A hooligan, delinquent, and vagabond with no equal. Today, I'll be enlightening you on the tragedy that is this character, the things he has done, and why I think he is the way he is. The furthest recollection I have of Chad's crimes go as far back as 6th grade. One day, he showed up to my private domicile, insisting that we play the popular indie sandbox game, Terraria. He showed up with food. Lots of food. A mountain of food. Food that I didn't like because I was a picky eater. Had he been a truly compassionate and caring individual, he would have accounted for my condition and adjusted his food. And this was only the first time he wronged me. Months later, he returns, and he brings with him a dog. At the time, I was afraid of dogs. This is the behavior of a truly cruel, sadistic, and unhinged member of society. Chaos manifest, the avatar of repugnance. And the hound was in cahoots. Yes, his golden retriever was an agent of his malintent. You see, Chad once borrowed my favorite pocket knife for what one can only assume was nothing but nefarious activity. He returns some days later and he says to me, "The dog buried the knife. My cherished possession, gone forever, in the blink of an eye. No one knows where it lies to this day, or what heinous actions it bore witness to, and his cruelty extends far beyond just the physical realm." 2019, Fortnite Season 7. Chad and I were 1v1ing on that one map from back in the day. The man got 1 kill, and then he emoted on me. Hopefully, you are beginning to understand what I was talking about when I said this man is the absolute worst of the worst. And it goes far beyond just personal attacks against me. Chad is a matter of national security. April 13th, 1970, at approximately 9 p.m., Apollo 13 suffered an oxygen tank failure leading to an explosion that forced the mission aboard. What historians don't tell you is that Chad was there. He was the man behind the slaughter. Sorry, the explosion. And now you might ask yourself, how is such a thing even physically possible? The short answer is that Chad is a cosmic being with control over time and space, making Chad a universal threat and/or public nuisance. And I have proof. Yesterday, we played Deep Rock Galactic. After a successful round of rock and stoning, I approached the resupply pod that had been previously abandoned by us. Chad was already at the extraction point. Suddenly, I'm frozen by a cryo cannon. Because to make matters worse, Chad is a driller main. How? How did Chad know I was there? How did he get there so fast? Simple, dear viewer. He is omniscient. He had already been there before I had even conjured the thought to be there. Now, as for what caused this man's descent into lunacy, it's hard to say. Chad was like this when I met him, and any who knew of him before were redacted. But I know of whispers from beyond the curtain of a time before I knew Chad, and it's left me with 2 guesses. One is a cataclysmic event he went through while playing the hit game Little Big Planet. I know not of what happened exactly, but I know that it solidified his desire to cause pain and anguish. Another likely cause is that piece of sourdough bread he ate at the fair, though I know nothing else of this. In summary, there's no telling what disastrous thing this man will do next, or to whom. The only thing that I can do is extend my most heartfelt apology to anyone affected by his carnage, as a man who failed to stop him.